Hello, Steve Arts 89. I'm here with my log, and I'm going to try and do a review, or at least my reaction to Twin Peaks Season 3, the limited event series, The Return, whatever you want to call it. People seem to call it different things. Now, initially, I felt very disappointed by it, but two things have happened. One, some time has passed, and I feel less betrayed by David Lynch. But also, I viewed the series week to week on Stan's streaming service in Australia. Then I bought the Blu-ray and the DVD, and when I bought the DVD the first time, it was from the UK version. It was the first one that was available to me. I did watch the series again, I think. I actually can't remember now if I watched it all. But I think, viewing it again, it makes a little bit more sense, but this time I actually didn't watch the whole thing, I have to admit. I watched a version that someone has put out there. I won't tell you where to find it. Basically, it is all the scenes set in Twin Peaks and relating to, Cole and the FBI case and Mr. C, and all the things that just are directly involving those characters or directly relating to those characters. And it's about 8 episodes. Some of them are as short as 27 minutes, some of them are 23 minutes, 20 minutes, some are like 45, some 55. There's two which are about an hour and 6 minutes. And that's what I watched instead of the actual complete episodes. And I really enjoyed it. When all the excess was removed and when I just saw just the characters from Twin Peaks and the scenes that were directly related to them, and the events that are related to them or affect them, all seem to go directly back to the issues of the lodge and everything. I actually really enjoyed it. It was like there were a few elements still that I had issues with, but for the most part it was like going back to Twin Peaks for like another 8 episodes, another like 7 hours or so, I think is what it comes down to. It just felt like Twin Peaks again. I had a few moments of really enjoying it. I'm like, oh, thank God. I kind of felt like I'd missed it the first time. Like it was too sort of lost in amongst all the rest of the David Lynchianness of it all. And to have actually just to be able to just focus on the characters and the events related to Twin Peaks and Cooper and Mr. C and all that, it just worked so much better. I enjoyed it so much more. All the stuff with Dougie was gone. You really only see him come out of... You see, of course, all the scenes of Dale in the lodges and everything. But you just see the shot of him coming out, basically, of the electricity wall socket. And then, basically, there is the scene where he fights off the attacker, and you see the evolution of the arm telling him, what to do to win, to fight him or whatever. And then the next scene is him waking up. So that's all gone, thank God. All the stuff with people trying to kill him, assassinate him, a lot of just some of the random people in Twin Peaks talking are there, but there's a couple of scenes that are just gone. And you don't miss them. I had to go back and look at the episodes and just sort of go back, skip through scenes to remember what is gone, what did I miss. And there was nothing that I felt like I needed to see again. And there are elements like a lot of the stuff that happens with the box. Now, once Cooper appears is interesting, but before that, just the scenes with little Gracie now all grown up, which is a bit disturbing to watch anyway, from the nanny. I can do without that. Even though the security guy's hot, I can do without that. So it's just a whole bunch of scenes now. I did watch that scene again. Not the first part, but I watched that in the episode, but it wasn't part of the edit. So yeah, I'm so glad that exists, because I don't think I probably would have watched the season again, but I would have had the same frustration with it, where I wouldn't have been skipping the scenes, but I would have just felt really frustrated and like, why am I watching this? Why is this here? Are you just messing with us? Are you just punking us? Does this have any meaning? I think part of the thing for mystery is you have to be involved. And because so many elements of The Return I just wasn't involved in, and I think a lot of people weren't involved in either. They're just tedious because you don't care. There's no suspense. There's no mystery. It's just like just waiting for scenes to end. And I had that experience a lot, but not when they were all edited out. So I'm sort of just doing this is more my reaction to it and my response to it and how to like view it now. But the thing I find most sort of weird about the whole Twin Peaks fandom and the response to The Return is the people who are now looking back at the whole series, including The Return, and doing readings of it, like diegetic readings, people saying it's metafiction, and I can understand what you can. There may have been elements of that in some of the production that people were thinking consciously of, but the whole thing is not a metafiction. The idea that from the beginning this was planned this way, it's just a complete masturbatory, exercise from these people where they just want to feel clever and feel like they've solved it, and they just like to tell people just how clever they are, because there's no way all those writers and directors that worked with Lynch, they all sat down in the beginning when they wrote I mean, it's just ridiculous. People acting like this is one thing that can be analysed or, revealed as one thing. It just isn't. It can't be. So I find that funny and weird that there are so many Twin Peaks fans who it's all about them and feeling superior by conquering and deconstructing Twin Peaks and feeling like, well, they've worked it out, so they're as clever or more clever than Lynch and cleverer than all the other fans who couldn't work it out, because the reality is you can't work it out. It was written in a way by Lynch that the answers aren't there, and he hasn't revealed them for the actual mysteries, and then others are just sort of hollow. They're just sort of there, just sort of like traps to fall in, like I said. And then there's elements that people are just reading the way they want to, and none of it, it's just, there's just no one way to view it, no one way to decode it. There is no one Twin Peaks mystery to uncover or one. It's just, it's futile, and if you just sort of have to enjoy the mystery, the not knowing, and be curious enough to enjoy that without having to answer it. Because if you have to answer it, you're going to be miserable, and if you do answer it, you're fooling yourself and embarrassing yourself. But yeah, I did enjoy the condensed version of, and it doesn't have a title, it's not like it's like, the condensed version, but the condensed version of The Return, I did enjoy it. It felt like Twin Peaks. There are moments where I really did enjoy it, and I'm glad it exists, but at the same time I feel like I have to now watch the whole series again, the whole full 18 episodes, just to make sure I'm not missing anything that was important. But at the same time, I remember how miserable I was the first time, and I don't feel like I am missing anything. And I do have to point out, I did watch the 8th episode first, before everything else, the one that's set in 9:45 when the bomb goes off. That was the first thing I watched, because I was trying to watch Twin Peaks chronologically. So there was the 9:45 episode, and then there was Fire Walk with Me, The Missing Pieces, and then Twin Peaks Season 1, 2, and The Return. So I watched them in chronological order, and that's the wonderful thing. This person has, they should call it Twin Peaks Timelines or something. And again, I'm not saying where it is, but it's out there, and it's like all the scenes from Fire Walk with Me and The Return, just sort of put together chronologically, and then the Twin Peaks episodes are put in blocks where it's just like the first 4 episodes with no credits or titles, just run right through. And there's another version of it with like 8 episodes, and they're full screens. These are also they've all been, all the original Twin Peaks episodes have been cropped to widescreen, so you can watch the whole thing from the pilot and the Fire Walk with Me and the pilot and then The Return, all in widescreen, and it all holds up really well, except 3 or 4 episodes towards the end of season 2. Whoever stepped in for photography they started to shoot it more like a conventional 4:3 TV show, and there are a few scenes in a few episodes where people's heads are not on the frame, and that wasn't an issue with the other episodes from season 1 and most of season 2, because it was still shot cinematically, and even if they were allowing extra space for the top and the bottom and for the 4:3 frame, they were just still working like a film. Or maybe they had actually matted them off just so it could be cropped and actually shown theatrically. Maybe that was something they were considering, or maybe I think it just happened organically because just the way they photographed it, because they worked in cinema also. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought of season 3, and the Return, the limited event series, whatever you want to call it. And I just really wanted to share how I felt about it, and I guess confess a little bit my guilt that I, watched a compromised vision of David Lynch's, limited edition, limited, street service, limited event series, but I did enjoy it more, and it really helped because I think it'll be easier to watch it in its entirety now, sort of knowing that Twin Peaks is in there somewhere amongst it all. But yeah, I'm gonna go.